Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So look, my friends, the chaos not going away. So hit subscribe, watch, comment. I want your comments and share with your friends because again, it's going to be a bumpy ride. And I want to start by talking about Pam Bondi, our newly elected Attorney General. So Pam Bondi was sworn in the other day. And I want to talk about what she is already up to, what she is planning to do. Pam Bondi wants to look at all the cases that New York prosecutors brought against Trump. Now, before I even get into this, no one will be happier for Pam Bondi to do this than I. Nothing would make me happier than to turn around and to find out, because I haven't been able to, based upon my 4-year-old plus FOIA requests, that the prosecutors improperly brought this action, that the prosecutors went after Trump improperly, that I was brought in, served time as a result of improper prosecutorial misconduct. Nothing would make me happier. But in order to do this, I first want to show you an article, and then I want to show you a few clips of Pam Bondi on Fox News. So let's start with the article. Attorney General Pam Bondi plans review of cases brought by New York prosecutors against Trump. Second part of it. Attorney General Pam Bondi is expected to order a review of the cases brought against President Donald Trump, including those undertaken by prosecutors in New York who successfully defeated him in court. Goes on to say she will order the review of criminal and civil cases against Trump. She's talking about both the Manhattan DA case, that was criminal, the New York Attorney General case, that was civil, including the 2 federal cases brought by the Biden Justice Department, and issue a warning to employees that serving their own personal politics as opposed to the Trump administration would be punished. Next. She goes on to say, in one memo, Bondi will establish a weaponization working group. I hope to God they put me on that, to review law enforcement actions enacted under the Biden administration for any examples of politicized justice. That review will cover cases brought by former special counsel Jack Smith over Trump's handling of classified documents and 2020 election interference, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's hush money case that led to a conviction, and a case from New York Attorney General Letitia James in which she won a $454 million civil fraud judgment against Trump. Lastly, we're going to make America safe again, Bondi said in a brief remark at the White House. Trump complimented his pick for Attorney General, saying in part that she will be totally impartial. Yes, sure. I know I'm supposed to say she's going to be totally impartial with respect to Democrats, and I think she will be as impartial as a person can be. I'm not sure if there's a possibility of totally, but she's going to be as total as you can get, Trump said. But she's going to be fair. And she'll lead the Department of Justice in crushing violent crime, demolishing the gangs, which are all over the place. Now, let me go on to turn around and say here that I don't like the fact that they're only starting with the Biden administration, with the weaponization of the Justice Department under the Biden administration. Why not go back to Bill Barr? Why not go back to the first documented weaponization of the Department of Justice against a Trump critic? Maybe Trump wasn't even involved in it. Maybe. And maybe we should see that Bill Barr actually was involved in the unconstitutional remand of me back to prison, the first time ever in our country's history that an American citizen was held as a political prisoner because of a weaponized Department of Justice. You cannot start it under the Biden administration. It must be started going back to the Trump administration. And again, maybe Trump had nothing to do with it. Maybe he did. Now, I want to show you a clip of Pam Bondi speaking, again, of course, with Sean Hannity, about future special counsels. Play the clip.
Well, special counsels from here on out in our country will be legally appointed, and they won't be done constantly like they've been done in the past. And yeah, Judge Cannon is a brilliant judge. She followed the law. That will be upheld, and the weaponization of government will end. No more special counsels out there targeting anyone.
Yeah. When we talk about
why are we only talking about special counsels, Pam? Why not talk about prosecutors? Why not talk about, for example, the Jeffrey Bermans of the world or the Robert Kazamis of the world? These two guys were running the Southern District of New York's criminal division. Why not start with them? Why not start with prosecutors like Tom McKay or Nicholas Roos, the two prosecutors in my case, who are high-fiving each other after I pled guilty after 48 hours. Either I pled guilty or they were filing an 80-page indictment that was going to include my wife. First time ever hearing from them. Why not go back to the prosecutors? Let's not stick with just special prosecutors. Let's go with all the prosecutors. If you take the job, whether it's a prosecutor or to a special counsel, you owe a duty to the American people to uphold the law. Now, I also want to make a quick comment about Judge Eileen Cannon. With all due respect to Pam Bondi, she's no legal scholar. In fact, she's been overturned by the appellate court more than I think any other judge in U.S. history. I mean, let's be clear about something. I don't know that to be 100% accurate, but she's been overturned more times than she cares to admit. Now, finally, I also want to show you that she also told Sean that she wants to restore integrity to our justice system. I couldn't be happier to hear that. As you all know, how Donald Trump weaponized the United States Department of Justice against his critics 4 years ago. I am waiting. When they initially said there are no documents responsive to my case will show each and every one of you a lot. And it wasn't that there was zero, there certainly was. And so, because I had several documents in my possession, we filed an action. Oops, sorry, we made a mistake. In fact, we found 486,000 documents, 486,000 documents that were responsive to my FOIA request, from 0 to 486,000. So when I say, I agree with you, Pam, Ms. Attorney General, that I too want to see integrity restored to our justice system, it's what I've been fighting for all along. Play the clip.
I believe under Merrick Garland and Joe Biden, the DOJ has been weaponized. With that, there are many, many employees at the Justice Department that were a part of that weaponization. Did they have an obligation not to participate in it, speak out against it? And if they didn't do so, would that be disqualifying in your mind?
Sean, certainly, you have to follow the ethical standards of being a prosecutor, and you have to follow the law. And that's why we have signed multiple executive orders taking us back to our core function of prosecuting real crime and violent crime. And that's how this Justice Department will function, and that's how President Trump wants this administration to function, even-handedly and fair, and restore integrity.
Yeah, look, let me be very clear about something. You cannot start it again with the Biden administration. You need to go back, and you really need to look. By the way, Trump was ultimately brought up on charges as a result of that case, as a result of the hearings. Take it all the way. Don't start with just the Biden administration. Don't start with Jack Smith. Don't start with Alvin Bragg. Don't start with Tish James. Go back to the early onset. Why don't you go back to, I don't know, maybe let's take a look at Jeff Sessions. Let's take a look at anybody that was involved going back to the Steele dossier. That's where you want to start. When you do an investigation, you need to start at the beginning, not 3/4 in, and make rules and regulations based upon that. Start at the very beginning. And as always, thanks for listening.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.